We are live. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Reality Hour. I'm Grace Sweeney. Today, we are talking Dancing with the Stars Week 2. It is Latin night, and I'm joined by a special guest because Adam is occupied. So I've got Eric. How's Eric doing today?
Eric is doing okay. Eric had a very interesting kind of week. One of my coworkers and close friends passed away last Friday,
I'm so
which
sorry.
sucks. But I've had a lot of things to distract me this week, which has been helpful. I had 2 concerts the past 2 nights, so I'm also very, very tired. But yeah, it's been an interesting couple of days. Very much a roller coaster, um, but yeah, I caught up on the YouTube performances of this episode today. Um,
Good.
and I now know why I don't watch the show. So we'll get into that as we go.
Sorry.
But yeah, let's go. Let's dive right into it.
Alrighty. So we had Latin night with the remaining 13 couples. This is a theme that we haven't had since I think Tom Bergeron was the host, which
Really?
feels
They
like
don't do a theme every year?
they used to, but like, I don't know. Ever since the host that we don't name here took over, everything just kind of got flipped upside down.
Hmm.
Um,
I could have swore I thought this would be like one of like the staples of the themes, but okay.
Normally it is. But I feel like I said last week, I think the show is kind of getting back to the way it used to be back in the Tom Bergeron era, which I'm super happy about because the Tom
Good.
Bergeron era was a good time.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Anyway, so I told you not to talk about the opening number, so we're not going to talk about that.
You could talk
Um,
about it. Did you watch it?
I did. I didn't really write any notes about it though.
Okay.
I usually
Got it.
don't. The pro numbers are always fun.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got 13 couples dances, an elimination that I really wanted Adam to be here for.
I'm sorry. I'll do my best.
It's not your fault. But we're gonna start with Adam's first pick, Lele and Brandon. They did a samba to Gasolina, which is apparently a song that she dances to a lot on TikTok, but I wouldn't know because I'm not one of her 50 million followers.
Okay.
Eric, I'll let you talk.
I'm gonna have like a sentence for most of these. It was
Okay.
fine, I guess. I'm a
Mhm.
bad judge of this, but it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was a good dance for them. She's definitely Adam's best, probably only shot at a win at this point.
Oh, she's Adam's only shot at a win, and Adam's
Oh
screwed.
yeah, the only question I have, look at my headline. Am I going to have 3 finalists or 4 out
Okay,
of the final 4?
we'll find out.
I know, we'll find out on December 5th. Actually, before that. Anywho, I thought they did a good job with this dance. The rhythm was good. The judges all said that they needed more control, which they're trained eyes, we're not. Fun way to start the show. She got 3 7s for her score. One of the higher scores of the night. I thought it was totally fair. The first number is usually underscored, though.
Okay.
All right, moving on to someone from my team. Tyson Beckford and Jenna doing one of 5 salsas this week to Aguanile. And Jenna wanted to play to his strengths because one of the beauties of salsa is you can do lifts. And he's really strong, so they wanted to do a lot of them. Eric, thoughts?
The part where he pretended to drum on her butt, I don't know how it was a lot on TV, but other than that,
Happens all the time.
on Dancing with the Stars, that happens all the time.
Usually. I mean, at least once a season.
Okay then. That was interesting.
Maybe I should make you watch a clip of Bruno judging.
Please don't. But yeah, other than that, it was fine, I guess. It was.
I will give him credit. It was so much better than his dance last week. Last week he got straight 4s. This week he got straight 6s.
Okay.
So it was a lot better.
50% better, you would say.
Yeah, the timing was better. He was still kind of stompy. His feet were still flat. And some of the lifts, like I get that, like one of the problems I have with salsa is some couples I think just try to throw in too many lifts and be like, hey, we're doing lifts. And some of them didn't really look all that comfortable to me. But I'll take the improvement, and he's still here.
Okay.
Now, someone from your team, Barry Williams,
Oh, he's on my team?
probably your best shot at winning, which says very little. Fresh off his 69th birthday, Barry Williams and PETA doing a cha-cha to Oye Como Va. Eric, talk.
It was very weird when they just stopped for some reason in the middle of it. And it didn't really look like he was doing anything to me that was too complicated.
Yeah,
Granted,
that's
he's nearly 70, so I understand that, but still.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, I can't blame him for the choreography. He doesn't like the pros choreograph the numbers. He had nothing to do with that. But I feel like PETA isn't really pushing him, which is probably not a problem for right now, but if he is if he is late in the show with another performance like that, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that's the way this show works. Like the really bad dancers get kicked off first, and then like the contestants on the top pretty much stay there. But then eventually the middle becomes the bottom, and I feel like he's kind of on the high end of the bottom.
Okay.
But yeah, he got 3.5, so he actually got a lower score than last week.
Oh.
I feel like he's just kind of there, and I'm hoping maybe like somebody tweeted me saying that PETA might not know how to challenge him because I don't think she wants to hurt him.
Yeah.
Like he's a
Understood.
69-year-old man. He's fragile.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, your other contestant who landed in the bottom two this week, Adrian and Britt.
Oh, he's the one?
He's the football player. He did a samba to Taki Taki, and we got to see his baby. And even that didn't bring in enough votes for him, unfortunately.
Oh, so literally the two most controversial contestants were the bottom two?
Oh yeah, this I think was the bottom two we'd been waiting for since the cast was announced.
Good.
And I think some fans were like, just send them both home.
Mm-hmm. Nope. We have to drag it out.
I didn't know until the show aired last week that the judges' save was out this season.
Okay.
But yeah, talk about Adrian's dancing.
Next.
Yeah, I mean, last week I kind of gave him more praise than maybe I should have. There, like when they did the side by side section, it kind of looked like he was about to fall. There was a lot of bounce, which you need for samba, but it was still pretty clunky. Last week he was kind of smooth, but this week he was really clunky. So he went from 6s to 5s. I feel like he's willing to put the work in, though. I mean, you don't get to be one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL without a work ethic.
Okay, sure.
But given that he was in the bottom two last week, I think his days are, or this week, I think his days are very much numbered.
100%.
But who knows? Next up, we have Mira Sorvino and Gleb. They went to Cabo because Mira was speaking at an event. So they did some rehearsing on the beach. They did a salsa, another one. And she mentioned that she actually took salsa classes from a very dear friend who passed away, not recently, but some time ago. Talk about Mira.
Well, knowing that she took lessons from someone who passed away, my comment, which was just kind of feels a little not very nice. So, but that's what I wrote.
Yeah, I definitely thought there were some flaws. And it just kind of felt like way too soft. I feel like she needs to get into that mode because like we see this is one of the things I like about Dancing with the Stars versus the singing shows is there's every contestant has like a decent growth arc. Like the singing shows, most of these people have sang before somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing with the Stars, these people, most of them have never danced a day in their life.
Yep.
But yeah, like they did a decent job. I didn't think it was all that memorable. And a lot of people, I think, are afraid of that with Mira, that's going to be her downfall. Is she's just going to have one forgettable performance too many and people won't vote for her.
Okay.
Next up, tied for number 1 in the scores this week, Sochi and Val doing a salsa to Don't Go Yet by Camila Cabello. Yay.
I'll say the first dance of the episode that did not bore me. So
I thought it was one of the best of the night.
Easily.
I mean, it was tied for number 1 in the scores. But like I know, like in rehearsal, Val said he wanted to do lifts, so said she was afraid of heights. But then like Val's like, I've seen you do this in movies. I'm like, don't they use? I mean, I can count on one hand the number of Marvel movies I've ever seen, but don't they use stunt people for that?
Sometimes I don't think they do actually. I think they. I mean, I'm assuming they don't because all the actors are like one of the things they have to like work out a lot before they start the movies. So
I don't know. She's the only one she was in was the recent Doctor Strange movie.
okay,
But yeah, the only I saw Eternals, and this isn't really a Marvel movie, but I did see Big Hero 6, but that's a cartoon, so that doesn't count.
it doesn't count.
It's such a good movie though. But yeah, The Lift I thought was good. She's still one of my favorites. Some people are saying like people are already starting to call their finale, and I'm seeing her name come up a lot. I'm hoping so, but I'm not totally convinced just yet.
Really,
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't want to get too confident this early.
Okay, was she your first pick?
She was my third pick.
Okay, got it.
And next up, the contestant I fully expected to go home this week, Mauricio and Emma. He was in the bottom two last week. He had the lowest score this week. And if this was the comeback week he wanted, talk while I cringe.
It didn't look that much better than the ends of winning, and he clearly messed up. And I was also kind of shocked that he's still here.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I kind of appreciate that Emma didn't want to do all the tricks that everybody else was doing. That was her whole thing, because there were like I said, there were 5 salsas this week. We've talked about this is the 4th one now, and everybody else went more trick heavy and on lifts. And some of them they just do too much.
Uh-huh.
Emma didn't really want to do that with Mauricio, which I mean, you've got to work with what you've got. But this was a definitive step back from last week. Lost his footing. It looked like at one point he forgot the routine.
Yes,
and I was fully expecting him to go home this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really all that upset that he didn't.
Oh, I'm not upset at all that he's still here. But
yeah, he was
given who the 2 people who on the bottom were. But
yeah, when they were giving the results, he was the last one declared safe.
Duh.
And they got to make it suspenseful. But then they call the ones who people fully expect to go home, they always call out early. Usually. I don't know. I mean, I know Alfonso
Did they give me a no particular order thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was him, and then they said they're like, okay, these 3 are not necessarily the bottom 3, but we're left with him and then the 2 couples that were eventually the bottom 2.
Got it.
I was fully expecting probably Jamie and Lynn to be safe, and then it to be between Adrian and Mauricio. And at that point, I would have just been like, I would have tossed them both. But yeah, surprised he's still here. I don't know how much longer he's going to last. Probably not much longer. Adam's team's dropping like flies.
Okay.
Anyway, next up, another contestant from Adam's team who improved significantly from last week, Allison Hannigan and Sasha. They did a tango. Can't Remember to Forget You. Shakira and Rihanna. Talk.
I really wanted to like this more than I did, given that she's like the one contestant I already kind of knew and liked a bit. But it was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, she was worried about it because last week she kind of made up for her lack of dancing ability by just being really silly. She had a tango this week where you can't do that. But it was so much better. I didn't see a lot of chances taken, but that's really Sasha's fault more than it's Allison's. I think once all the terrible dancers are gone, she's going to be in trouble.
Okay.
I don't see her making it too far.
Honestly, the fact that you didn't classify her as one of the terrible dancers is better than I was expecting at the start of the season. So
I honestly just need her to make it to Halloween night so she can do a Buffy-inspired number.
Okay.
Because that's, she was on that show, right?
Yes.
All right. Next up was Charity and her stunt partner, Ezra. Artem had COVID, so he wasn't able to dance this week. He'll be back next week. So Ezra jumped in and saved the day, and people are now lobbying for Ezra to be a pro. He would be I believe, either the first or the second openly gay pro in the history of the show. No, I mean, she bangs. Like, this song was viral before viral was even a thing.
Yeah.
All right, they had, I believe, no, they didn't have the only cha-cha of the night, but they did have a cha-cha. Eric, talk to me.
It was decent, which is more than I can say for most performances that involve a song she bangs. So,
there's only one performance that has that song.
no, there's not. There's more than one.
Well, there's only one that matters.
No, there's not. There's two that matter.
William Hung and who's the other one?
Wagner, of course.
Wagner was a joke.
So, and William Hung wasn't a joke? What are you talking about?
He made bank on that song.
He did. He did.
I think he's more known for that song now than Ricky Martin is.
Okay, great.
But yeah, so first of all, Charity was actually the highest scorer last week. She dropped a little bit this week. We skipped Ariana. We have to go back.
Yeah, I was like, this is like a weird order because I thought I watched.
Okay, so after this, we'll go back to Ariana, and then we'll go to Harry, Judas, Lynn, and Jason. Anyway, and I realize I don't know when Artem dropped out, but I could tell that like Charity did not have the same comfort level with Ezra as she does with Artem, and that's not. I mean, again, I can't blame Charity for that.
You're right.
Like, it's not her fault. Her partner got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like it just is what it is. But I thought it was good. It was clean. Wasn't really all that memorable. If she makes it to the finale, which I think she probably will, this could be a good redemption dance for them.
Okay.
But anyway, let's go back to Ariana and Pasha, also from my team. They did a samba to Me Porto Bonito, Bad Bunny, which is a weird name for an artist. Eric?
I wrote, at this point, I'm starting to realize that the show is not for me.
And you wanted to be here all season, too. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, it's just not my
power around with Adam and I. Well, also, when you're not here, Adam and I are shenanigans central. So
yeah, I get it. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I really have nothing to say about most of the performances, but
yeah, they actually got a point lower than they did last week, which I felt kind of bad about. There were some moments where it kind of felt like Pasha was pulling Ariana and she wasn't really like with him. But it was good. Not their best. Hopefully not going to be their worst. Actually, it might be. Who knows? All right, let's move on to the Bobby Bones of season 32. Harry and Riley.
Oh, he's the Bobby Bones one?
Oh no, this dude. So his dance from week 1 became a viral trend on TikTok.
Oh god.
And it wasn't even good. It was tied for the bottom of the leaderboard, and this week he was near the bottom again.
Okay.
People on TikTok are obsessed with this dude.
Okay.
So like a lot of people are saying like we need to just chill out, and some people are like kind of like me and afraid that season 27 is going to happen all over again.
I just wrote that's all I wrote for performance. So
yeah, it was a little bit better than last week. A lot of the same, like he has a lot of work to do on his technique. But like I said last week, good-looking guys walk a fine line on this show. But like, although I don't know how much weight TikTok has on the voting on this show. Last season it had a bunch because last season was on Disney Plus, so the demographic was a lot lower. Now that we're back on ABC, I'm not really sure. Although it's on both now, so.
Yes, on both, so.
All right, and anyway, let's mourn the loss of Jamie Lynn Spears and Alan. Take a brief moment of silence. That's long enough. They did a cha-cha to the Pitbull version of Shake Senora. And she wanted to be sexy, and I'm pretty sure she failed miserably.
I wasn't sure. Was it bad that it looked like she was like walking in the middle of the dance? Was it like a bad thing?
Yes.
So
yes, she looked like she was walking like a dancer.
What?
Did she look like she was walking like a dancer, or did she look like she was just walking?
She looked like she was just walking at one point.
Yeah, no, that's not what you want.
Just making sure, because again, I don't know, but I genuinely thought that given that Brittany is known as so known as a dancer and as well as a singer, I thought that she would have more talent than that, just by osmosis, basically. But nope.
A lot of people thought the same thing.
hmm I'm happy she's gone. I'll put it
My
that way.
take is now, I know you've got siblings, I don't, but like, pretty sure all siblings are not born with the same set of talent.
Oh, I'm not saying but it's not a natural thing. Dancing, I don't think it's not necessarily a natural talent. It's more like just by you assume, but I don't know. Clearly, Brittany doesn't like her. So at this
Well,
point,
no, who would like somebody who's stealing money from them?
correct. But yeah, I don't know. I was expecting her to be better, but yep.
I was
I'm not.
too. I mean, my take is if you're sexy, you don't have to try that hard to be sexy. And
Was
she
she trying
looked
to
like
be sexy in that dance? Really?
she wanted to be.
I didn't
I
see it.
She totally failed. But a lot of people were like happy about the elimination, also surprised by it because like I didn't think she was going to go this early either. But I mean, I think going late in the show is kind of a kiss of death now.
hmm
um,
Is
and
Jason on your team, by the way?
yes, but
Oh, thank God.
before we move on to him, Derek was the one who got to speak after Jamie Lynn was eliminated, and he was pretty surprised by it. I mean, a lot of people, I think, like I said, were surprised but happy. Um, I'm not gonna miss her, honestly.
Never mind.
And last of the night, Jason Mraz and Daniela, the only Rumba we saw last night, tied for number one. Some people are already saying it's game over and he's gonna win, but I'll let you talk first.
I'm not. I don't watch the show closely enough to say it's game over, but I think he's a lock for the finale. Absolutely, he's a lock for the finale.
He's 100% the best guy this season, right?
From what from my limited knowledge and from what I could tell, yes. And he has a little bit. He's more of a fan base than most of these other people. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think he's pretty much a lock for finale at least.
Yeah, he was actually feeling. He mentioned in his intro that he was feeling a little bit nervous because last week he was really good. He was tied for number two. And then also Rumba's a slow dance, so mistakes are easier to catch in a slow dance than they are in a faster dance. Um, there were a few things I think he could have done better, but he did a nice job. And I mean, I don't want to say it's game over because I was told not to get comfy, but if a guy wins this season and it's not him, it's gonna be.
Okay. From what I could tell, the one I was sort of judging like based on like telling like, the lighting and the production around it. Clearly, like he had the best production of the night as well.
Yeah.
So it's clear the producers like him. I think from that, if you can base it based on that. But so yeah, I think he's gonna go far.
I do too. And that's the couples dances. The bottom two, the one that fans have been waiting for since this cast was announced, Jamie Lynn and Alan, and Adrian and Britt. And we bid farewell to Jamie Lynn and Alan. And I really wanted Adam to give a eulogy because he picked her second.
Mm-hmm.
And we both gave him a hard time about it.
We did.
Are we still going to give him a hard time about it?
I'm gonna forgive him for it because I was expecting him to go further as well.
I was too, but I'm not all that surprised. And also,
I'm not mad. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not either.
But
also, second week in a row that the second to last dance of the night went home. Coincidence? Okay. I think not.
Yes.
Maybe. Well, Matt also had the lowest score the week he went home.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lynn was near the bottom, but she wasn't at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
She was a few other couples, including Adrian, had lower scores than she did. All right. Anyway, that's Latin night. Next week, it is Motown night, which if this were American Idol, I would be rolling my eyes very, very hard. But they're not singing, so I guess it's okay. And the guest judge, for what reason I do not know, is
judge?
Yes.
Why?
First guest judge of the season, it is former NFL player and current GMA host Michael Strahan, who has absolutely nothing to do with Motown or dancing.
Okay.
I actually have wanted him as a contestant on this show for a while.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, Next week's music. We just open up the press release. The opening number is to Dancing in the Street, obviously.
Okay, makes sense.
All right. Allison and Sasha will perform a foxtrot to Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
God. Next.
All these songs are going to feel that way to you. Mira and Gleb are doing a rumba to Let's Get It On.
Yes, next.
Honestly, if Gleb makes this overly sexual, I might have to turn off my TV. He will, just saying. Okay. Sochi and Val will perform a foxtrot to My Guy.
Don't know that one. Next.
You ever seen Sister Act?
No.
Okay, well, they changed it to My God in there.
Okay.
Ariana and Pasha will perform a quick step to You Can't Hurry Love.
Okay.
Lele and Brandon will perform a cha-cha to Super Freak.
Okay, next.
Oh no, wait until like they start getting punny with the song choices. Charity and Artem will perform a foxtrot to My Girl.
Okay.
Jason and Danielle will perform a jive to Do You Love Me?
That could be interesting.
I'm excited for that one. I think Jason might slightly be becoming my favorite this season.
Wasn't already?
I mean, he kind of is. Tyson and Jenna will perform a foxtrot to Master Blaster.
Okay.
Adrian and Britt will perform a quick step to I Want You Back. And it would be hilarious if the fans don't want him back.
Correct.
And mildly ironic. Harry and Riley will perform a foxtrot to Easy Like a Sunday Morning. Can Lionel Richie be the guest judge instead?
No.
He'd be a better choice than Michael Strahan.
Would he really?
Well, he knows he's connected with Motown more than Michael Strahan is.
I mean, yes, but still. But we know he's a bad judge. Anyway, moving on.
Also, if we're gonna have guest judges, I'd rather them have some dance credentials.
Does he?
I don't think he does, but Strahan doesn't either.
Okay.
Paula Abdul was a guest judge on this show.
Okay. That would make more sense.
I think it was the same year Kelly Pickler was a contestant, so I briefly forgot what show I was watching. Anyway, two more. Barry and Pete will perform a tango to Get Ready by the Temptations.
Okay.
And Mauricio and Em will perform a foxtrot to Working My Way Back to You, Babe.
Okay.
And they also revealed a few things. Week 4 is Disney 100 night, and Eric said he would probably pop in for Disney 100 night.
I probably still will.
And Taylor Swift night is confirmed. We just don't know when it's going to be.
Okay. Great.
And that's the show.
I have nothing else to add other than congratulations, Nick, for getting the lead role in A Beautiful Noise. That was
well, he was the understudy for a while, but Will Swenson is leaving the show at the end of the month, so Nick will be jumping into that spot permanently.
That is
and hopefully the three of us can all go because that would be awesome.
That is definitely a plan of mine.
I'm seeing Harry Potter next week. Finally,
I guess.
I've wanted to see it for a while now. So
okay.
All right. Should we sign off?
Trying to think if there's any other news to talk about. Probably isn't, but yeah. It was an interesting episode, I guess.
Yeah.
And
we might have to keep you on call. Thanks for jumping in.
I'm excited for Disney night. That'll be
It's Disney 100 night.
No, it's Disney night. It's not. They can call whatever they want. They can call it Disney Plus night. They can call it Disney 100 night. It's Disney night.
Well, see, like they did that last season, and I'm thinking, like when I hear Disney, like The Simpsons, Hamilton, they don't jump into my head when I think of Disney.
Because they're not Disney. I mean, they're not.
They're on Disney Plus.
They're not originally Disney. They were acquired by Disney.
I don't think Disney owns Hamilton. Anyway.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I'm tired, so yeah. But thanks everyone for watching. Adam will hopefully be back next week, and see you all later.
Good night.